Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof.
How's everybody doing? I want to welcome y'all to the Proof Podcast Show. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Sion. I'm excited. It's definitely an honor and a privilege on tonight because we got a very special guest in the building. This brother been putting in work for a long time. He's a producer. He's an engineer and more. He goes by the name of Hazmat, y'all. So without any further ado, let's bring him to the stage. How you feeling, brother?
Yo, what up? What up? It's a pleasure being here, man. Thank you.
Definitely an honor. Long time coming, yo. I've been a big fan for years. So, yo, for the people that may not be familiar, let's let them know a little bit about yourself and how you first got into music.
First and foremost, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, Bushwick, 851 Hart Street. I grew up with Black. You know, he used to live on Green Avenue. He moved to Hart Street, and that was it, man. He had his turntables. You know, I used to rap. You know what I'm saying? It would be me. It was a fan put thing, man. You know what I'm saying? We started, shout out to the whole FAMM, you know what I'm saying? You know, we started 845 Hart Street, man. And, you know, shout out to Rick B. You know, we learned a lot from him, and that's how we're able to do what we do now. You know, we took what we learned from him. You know what I'm saying? And it was history, man. And, you know, we did performance in South Carolina, the Stone Cold Picnic. We opened up the Music Soul Child. We did Ashanti. This was back in the early 2000s, man, when they were popular and stuff. Right. Yeah. We opened up for somebody else. We did the Harlem Fest. We did Flatbush Festival. We was all over New York City, man. Tri-state area, we performed. We did a lot of things, but my passion though was producing, creating music. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, you know, I just lean towards production. I fell in love with it. I come from a music background. You know, my mother sang. My sister, shout out to the Murnovator, and shout out to my sister Natasha. They both sing. So I kind of got the inspiration, and my mom's too. My mother, Joanne Taylor. I kind of got my inspiration from all of them, man. You know, and that's what I do. You know, I love making music.
And that's the thing right there. So let's talk about it because you come from a musical background. You're in the heart of the Mecca. You're in New York City. You're in Brooklyn. One of the homes of one of the greatest rappers. Some people, say one of the greatest rappers right there. So growing up in that time, in that era, what was it like? And what were some of the things that first inspired you to get in hip hop?
I used to. There's a lot of things. I used to tag up. I used to do graffiti.
Right.
Um, back in that era, the '90s to me was the best era. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
I agree.
Biggie, Pac, Jay. Jay was, he was coming up. You know what I'm saying? Um, a lot of underground rappers and stuff. Wu Tang is like my all-time favorite group. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, man. That was to me, that was the golden era, man.
I
That
do
was
think.
the '90s was the golden era, man, for me. Kind of like the '80s. I got introduced to the '80s. My older cousins used to listen to like KRS,
Right.
MC Shan, The Bridge is Over, you know, the Juice Crew,
Right.
bro. It's just a lot of hip hop was just my life, man. And other elements that I stepped to because my mother she was into the R&B. Occasionally she would listen to hip hop. My older sister she sings opera.
Right.
To this day she still sings opera. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like she's from Bushwick and she sing opera. Like oh snap. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
yeah, man, it's a lot of inspiration in NY. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that environment, man. This is the best time, the '90s, man.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. And
Yeah,
that's a lot of history. So it's like the influence still
yeah,
lasts to this day. So it's like everywhere you go, creativity. And you're well
yep,
rounded. Like you said, having your mom singing in the opera, the R&B, the hip hop. Do you think that
yeah.
plays a part now with your music production and stuff like that? Do you think that influence?
Absolutely.
Right.
Classical music. My mother and my sister used to listen to the classical music and stuff. That's why, like, a lot of my instruments, like, my favorite instrument is like strings, violin, like the orchestra instruments, trumpet, brass,
Right.
you know, I love it, man. I love the process, man. I love the outcome after the creative process. I get to like manipulate it, make it sound really dope. That's why I love music production, man. I love it.
It's endless
You know
possibilities. It's endless possibilities.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like you said though, you said before the production, you was actually on the MC side. So like
yeah.
looking back at that time, right? What were some of your favorite memories that stood out the most? At that time when you rapped on it was Fam Click and yeah,
Oh man, yes, Sam Click, man, Sam Click. My favorite, the favorite time I had with them was in South Carolina.
South Carolina.
So we went out there. We drove from New York City, all the way to South Carolina. I think it was in Charleston,
So
South Carolina. And we were supposed to perform on the local stage, like the local talent stage.
right,
But the crazy part was our CD couldn't play in their goddamn the CD player.
right,
It wouldn't play. So we were like, oh man, we were like, we came all the way out here
right,
to our CD not playing. So it's like, you know what? Y'all get to perform on the international stage. You know what I'm saying? So when they performed on the international stage, our CD worked. So it was like, oh, it was like to us, it was like a blessing in disguise. That was
right.
like that exposure was just like crazy. And then after the performance, um, we had fans or whatever running up on us to get an autograph. We was giving out T-shirts, our little biopic and stuff of the
Right.
fan club. So yeah, we was doing our thing, man. That was a really good time, man. That was the best time because we were
Right.
like celebrities out there.
Yeah, and
For
that's
real.
a great feeling right there when it's like yo, you putting
Yeah,
your art out and people receive it and
yeah.
you get that warm embrace. So let me ask, what was it like in the studio recording? Like, what was the chemistry like in there? Because a lot of dope MCs in Fam Play. So what was that like? The studio sessions and stuff for the people that may not be familiar.
Man, studio sessions was like late night, just like coming up with dope concepts, having debates, who's going to spit first.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? But the vibe was just there, man. The cohesiveness was there. You know what I'm saying? Because Black, he was like the organizer, man, and because Black made beats too.
right. I
You know what I'm
remember.
saying? There's
I
not a lot
remember.
of people know Black made beats too.
Right.
So and so it wasn't just me making beats. It was me, Black, Silhouette. He made beats. Pop made beats. And we will all just like play our beats and see you know which beats were dope.
Right.
And we came out with some really good projects, man. Black. He did. There was one joint we did on Black's beat, which was pretty dope. For always my man, you know what I'm saying? Um, then I did some joint called "We Ain't Playing, We Are Coming." Yo, it was crazy, man. It was like the best time, man. Best time, bro. It was the best time. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. So it's like looking back to see how far Fam Click has gone.
Yeah.
International, y'all tri-coastal.
Yep.
How does that feel, yo, to start from NYC with the crew? See how far it's
I'm
grown.
Well, first and foremost, I miss my niggas, man. I really do. But the opportunity to expand and grow is the most important thing. You know what I'm saying? So me being out here, when I first came out to Arizona, I didn't have no computer, I didn't have no equipment.
Right.
You know, I just you know happened to have a laptop with FL Studio.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Just I started off with that, and then shout out to my homie D Drop. You know what I'm saying? My man Dennis McCauley. I met him at Apple. Well, not at Apple, at Best Buy, and he sold me my first Mac computer. And then he makes beats too,
Okay.
so definitely look out for him. We coming out with a project together that's in the making right now. But yeah, man, I came out here. I had nothing. I had no music, and people would be like, yo, Haz, man, what's up, man? Give me some beats, and I'd be like, damn, bro, Black got all the beats.
Right.
But now it's like, bro, it's software, and the software is just easy to get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I learned how to use software. Shout out to YouTube University.
Salute to YouTube
But
University.
so yeah, man, I learned a lot from YouTube, and I just applied to this production, and it was it. It was a wrap.
That's a fact. So let me ask you, right? Y'all were all MCs. Y'all were producing
Hmm.
at the same time. Is it like, yo,
Right,
around that time, a lot of people rapping over instrumentals and stuff like that. How did y'all
right.
catch the wave to realize, like, yo, I want to rhyme over somebody else's beat. We want to rhyme over our own. Like, what inspired that for you back
You know, we just had a lot of beats. But we would occasionally rhyme off like instrumentals because they were, like you said, you could go down the street on Knickerbocker Ave and go to the Africans. You get a instrumental CD.
then? Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we did tracks off instrumental CDs, but we would prefer to do our own thing, man.
Right.
But it would just kind of balance it out. We'll have some original tracks on it, and then we'll have like some instrumentals from like other artists and stuff. So yeah, we were definitely doing that. We were doing that heavy.
Yeah, that's a big salute to that. And then we got Shep in the
Yeah.
comments. He said, don't forget, before you went to Arizona, you did the Bug Brown song.
Oh right. Yep.
Salute to Bug
Come
Brown.
on. Oh, and shout out to my man Giddy from
Salute to
San
you.
Diego, California. I ran into him last summer. Um, I did a joint for him called Young Phenomenon. That was another. We did a video for that on the block.
Right.
Book Brown. We did the video for that in North Carolina.
Right.
That was during a hurricane.
Wow.
So it was crazy, man. Yo, it was the best experience, man. The best experience.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. And the game has changed so much from like the 90s to the 2000s to now. The technology is like right at your fingertips. Do you
Right.
remember when you first started producing? Like, were you using gear? Like, were you using Fruity Loops then? Or was it like, the ASR? Was it the MP? What was the first gear you started messing with when you first got into production?
The first piece of gear was the DR 808.
The gear.
We came up with some dope stuff, man. And then later on after that, we kind of took the experience from that. Um, you know, the MPC, and it was easy for me to learn. Like I just learned it really quick. The MPC, we had the Triton. We made a
Right.
lot of beats from that, man. The Triton. I think Black had the Maltese or the Phantom at one time. I was out here in Arizona, but
Right.
we started using the MPC, the Tascam um, 8 track. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Pro Tools. We
Oh,
was using Pro Tools.
right.
You know, the Digio, I think the Digio 1 or Digio 3, something like that.
Right.
Um, yeah, we had gear. We had the I think the Mackie 16 track mixing console.
Right.
Yeah, we was doing our thing, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just like we was fortunate to have that gear because we learned a lot and we took all that. Like I applied that experience with using that gear to
Right.
using the software because it's kind of similar.
It's kind of
It's
similar.
that you're actually seeing what you're doing and you know what kind of like melodies you want to create
Right.
with the gear. You just gotta like listen to in your head like what kind of melodies I create and just start messing with the keys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To me, it's just like I just look at my screen and just be like, okay, let me draw this little line and stuff like that. You know,
Um,
I've been told that I've been asked after like if I went to like a music school or something, I'll be like, nah, I didn't. I never went to music school. I never took music theory. I just, like I said, I was just inspired, by my family,
right.
my environment. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole lot of things that got me doing this, man. And like I said, I love the creative process. I love the outcome. You know what I'm saying? I just got to the point where I can just like make any kind of beat, not just trap or hip hop. I do dubstep.
Dubstep. That's a
Oh
big
yeah,
market.
yeah, I do dubstep. I do EDM. I've got a dubstep EP coming out around my birthday in June.
Okay.
I got my EDM EP coming out for like in the spring. It's called Summer Vacation.
Hmm.
That right there, that's in the work. I'm telling you, bro, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. And that's
I'm
that's
gonna
the
do
thing.
it.
Being
Yep.
universal that way, especially like out in the West Coast. I know in Vegas, EDM
Mhm.
and dubstep is real big. You go to
Mhm.
Vegas in the clubs and on the strip, they're playing a lot of dubstep. So like what inspired that? What made you stay out of the box? Where a lot of times it's like people feel like, yo, I don't want to cross over. I want to just do hip hop only. What made you where it's like, yo, tap into different markets because it's actually smart to tap into
Mhm.
more markets than to stay in one lane. So it's like, what gave you
Right.
that vision?
I just experiment, man. That's all you got to do. Experiment. See how you see. Get the feel of what you're trying to experiment. And that's what I did with dubstep. When I first started messing around with dubstep, I was whack. I couldn't even make a dubstep track if my life depended on it back then. But I just studied that genre. I studied drum and bass. I do drum and bass,
Wow.
um, glitch hop, future bass. Occasionally reggaeton,
Right.
reggae. Bro, I do it all, man.
Well,
Um,
well versed.
but dubstep is just to me. It's just like it's kind of like I don't know. It's just weird. I like to experiment with weird sounds. Sound design. It's kind of hard if you don't know what you're doing, but
Right.
you know, 9 times out of 10, you'll come up with some really cool sounds and stuff. But and dubstep, that's one of those genres where it's just to me, it's just different, man. It's totally different. It hit different.
Right.
It feels different. I love it, man.
And that's the
I
thing
love
right
it.
there. That's the thing right
Hmm.
there is like, and like you said, the key word is study. You
Yep.
studied the art. So like, what were some of the producers that you looked up to in the beginning?
Skrillex, Dirty Phonics, Knife Party, Steve Aoki, Aoki, sorry, Stevie Aoki, sorry. Who else? Lucky Date. Actually, I learned from him because he uses the same door I use, which is Reason. So I learned how to do EDM through him.
Wow.
Um, uh, I mean, I just listened to the music, um, and just been like, yo, I gotta get a piece of this pie.
Right.
And I studied and studied. Now I'm at a point where I'm ready to do a dubstep EP, and it's going to be fire. Now I know how to work it. Now I know how to do it. I'm different, man. I'm different.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, yo,
Yeah,
you've been doing it for a while and you definitely have the experience. So it's like being a producer, new in the game, for people that may be watching, right?
right.
Maybe just trying to get they may be just trying to get their feet wet in the producing game. What are some things that you know now that you wish you would have known in the beginning that would have made it easier for you?
I wish there was software like Reason. I mean, we didn't have access to it like we do now, but I wish I learned software from the software I have now. I wish it was out back in like '99 because I
Right.
couldn't afford. Let me tell you something. My mother bought my first piece of equipment. My mom's bought me. The
Wow.
DR88 was something that I actually, with the drums and everything.
Right.
My first piece of equipment, my mom's bought me a Yamaha piano for like $150.
Right.
She bought it, and I was just messing with the little drum pads, and I would like record on a regular tape cassette, and
Wow.
boom, boom, back, boom, boom, boom. Yo, no cap, no cap. I used to, I made my own. Yo, it was crazy.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. It's
Now,
like, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
yo, and if, I was about to say, if I had a 4 track, that would have been even crazier. For real.
And that's the thing. One thing about our people, right? It's like, yo, we'll adapt. We'll make it. We'll
Right.
make something work. So it's like, yo, people
Yep.
nowadays, these, the generation now, they don't know nothing about the four
Yep.
track or the tapes or using two tape decks and stuff like that. So when you're
Mm-mm.
saying, yo, you're making the drum, right?
Yep.
You're recording that. Then you go back and you're playing the other sounds on top of that on the tape deck.
Yep.
Bro,
I see. Hey, I had to teach myself how to do it.
right.
Yeah, I had to teach myself how to do it, man. And it's just like, what? Sometimes, like, I just be amazed at the stuff that I used to do, man. And now that I have access to the real stuff, I was like, man, if I had that back then, it would have been a wrap. It would have been a wrap.
That's the thing. Is like, do you find yourself, like you said, sometimes like where you had to adapt, you had to use what you had to make it work. Now
Hmm.
later on, you might get in the studio or you might find different gear, and it's like it's similar. Like I was already doing that without even knowing. Has that ever happened to you?
Yep. Like I could be, I'm doing that right now.
Right.
What? What? That just be like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing that right now. You know? That's
That's
just
the
so crazy. Like, I don't understand. Like, why? I just be laughing like, wow, I can't believe I'm still doing it.
right.
There's things that I'm still doing now that I've done back in the early 2000s when you had the actual hardware. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but now that I can see what I'm doing, it sounds a lot better.
Right.
It sounds a lot organized. I'm not guesstimating where I need to start. You know what I'm saying? I can just, start from the beginning. So I love it.
Yeah. The game has changed so much, and it's like
Yep.
even in recording and stuff like that with the four tracks and making the
Hmm.
beats and stuff like that, it's like you listen to some of the classics that we grew up on now with
Right.
the technology we have now, and you can hear some of the
Hmm.
mistakes in it. Like I go through and I listen to some of RZA samples, the
Right.
originals where he got them from, and it's like and try to test myself. I can see if I can recreate them. And it was like certain things where you can hear like the sample is just off a little bit, or certain
Right.
thing has. I know with your ear and the training you have, it's like, do you listen to music now from back then? Because they were limited with the technology,
Hmm.
and it's like, yo, if we would have had then what they have now.
You know what? I like listening to Public Enemy's old stuff because the way it's kind of to me, it's like a collage of different sounds. And I don't know if anyone's familiar with Hank Shockley.
Hank Chocolate.
He's also a Reason user, and he made certain sounds for Reason. Um, he did a lot of Public Enemy stuff, and just sound designing, sonic sound designing,
Right.
and I study like some of that, like how to make distortion on certain. Like I apply some of the hip hop stuff to my dubstep tracks,
Right.
because there are elements of reggae, hip hop, and house, if you want to put it
Right.
that way, in dubstep. So I kind of like think like Hank Shockley whenever I mess with the samples and stuff like that, because I want it to sound unique and I want it to sound different from everyone else. Like I
Right.
want to stick out like a sore thumb when it comes to music. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to this stuff here, and you know it's cool, but I feel like yo, you got to be different, man. You got to stand out. You got to have me like yo, I've never heard something like that before in my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I get that. You know, I get that. Like yo, if you ever had played this on the radio, this probably would have been on a billboard, and I'd be like, I know, I'm looking for the artist. You know what
You're
I'm
looking for
saying?
artists. Yeah.
Right.
So, what's your process when you're creating beats? Is it like, do you have artists in mind, or you like just following the moment? Is it like a feeling when you're creating your beats? What's your process like? Sometimes when you're going to record or make a new thing, do you have an artist in mind already? Like, yo, I know this person would sound good on there.
Um, Sometimes, but most of the time I go off of just what's in my head. I can be at work, you know, doing my thing, and then I hear something, or I kind of hum it, you know what I'm saying? And then when I get home, I have software on my phone that I mess with at work. If I have a melody in my head, I play it, but then I can just play it out and play it on my Reason, or, you know, and boom, that's the creation. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the
Goes by
technology right there.
and, yep. As long as you have something where if you have an idea and it's like a spur of the moment and you want to get it on something where, you know, you can do it when you get home, that's the best thing. Because sometimes I'll be having melodies in my head at work and I'll be like, wish I had this, wish I had that. Now that I have it, you know, I go on the side and kind of like, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy.
That's the thing. So let me ask you,
Yeah,
because you do a lot. You're definitely a super producer and stuff like that. What's three
yeah.
must-haves if you're in a session and you're making a beat? What's three? They could be whether it's it could be the packs, the sound packs. It could be a EQ compressor. It could be
Yeah.
any. What's three must-haves the hazmat has to have when you're making a beat?
Um, since I've been making a lot of beats a lot, I use the first thing is Splice,
Like,
or if you use any other, like, you know, the subscription service with like sound packs and stuff like that.
right.
Um, I use Splice. Number two, Serum.
So,
I use Serum for dubstep. That's what a lot of dubstep producers use, Serum.
right.
But I also use it for hip hop because I have 808s. Whew.
It brings it out.
And another must have, um, I guess to me, it just depends on what DAW you're using. Like
Right.
if you a must have is drum kits,
Right.
not the recycle ones. Like I use a lot of drum kits from DCAP. I use a lot of drum kits from I forgot the name of the person that creates these drums, but I just kind of like use those drums and everything, and I love it because I don't hear anyone with those drums. I
Right.
might hear one or two, but not because I just hear a lot of trap music. You know what I'm saying? I kind of in the realm of hip hop, R&B slash neo soul slash I don't know.
Right.
I do everything, man. I
Yeah.
do everything.
And that's the thing when you're a music genius like that. It's like you hear
Yep,
music, if you're not just stuck to one lane right there.
yep.
So when it comes to like plugins, right? What's
hmm
two plugins you gotta have for your production?
Well, it depends. Like, are you talking for just your drums, vocals? Like the two plugins, my go-to plugins would be the Isotope
Isotope,
Maximizer.
maximize.
I have the plugin in Reason
Right.
because makes your beats bang. You know what I'm saying? Makes your beats bang hard. And then I also use this other plugin called Thump,
Oh,
especially when I'm like using drum loops because I use a lot of drum loops.
okay.
Um, especially when I use drum loops, I make sure I can hear the thump from the actual bass and everything.
Right.
You know, so yeah, man, those are my go-tos, and it works. It works out a lot right now as we speak.
Right.
First and foremost, shout out to Chink that neighbor.
Salute the tank.
We're collaborating right now on a track, and I was just adding my rendition. You know, he did his rendition. I'm adding mine, and
Right.
it's a wrap. I'm almost done with it, so hopefully, if he decides that he wants, to put it on a social media, whatever, But yeah, man, it's gonna be dope, man. I live for these moments.
And that's the thing. So for that to come
Yeah.
full circle to be co-producing with your fam, how does that
Yep.
feel? Because y'all were once rapping together, now y'all producing together. So how does that feel? Salute the chink that nigga.
Oh, I like it, man. I don't normally do any collabs, but when it comes to fam, I think I think we know what we want as far as sound, and I feed off Chink a lot. As far as music is concerned,
Right.
because what he does, I'm like, okay, I like the melody, all right, and then I'll just add my little. But I try not to make a lot of changes because I don't want to be like, oh, it sounds like you, but nothing like that.
Right.
But it's just like the process of working together. Now that we both have software and we both have, the capability to make dope music. Because Chink makes really dope beats. Don't sleep on him.
Salute the
Don't
chink.
sleep on Chink. He got that heat. It's tough, but
Right.
he got the heat, and he will let it out. Trust me. I'll fuck around. I might do a beat album with him, or
Right.
have some artists out there in North Carolina or whatever, and just do a little compilation album or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, definitely.
But yeah, man, yo, my family black. If black, sometimes I'll be like, damn, black. I wish you could make beats, bro. I mean, I not wish he could make beats. I wish he still made
Still
beats.
made beats. Right.
Excuse me. I wish he still made beats.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, you would have got. I'd be like, damn, black. I wish you still DJ too.
Wow. They don't even know it. I
The
was just
black
about to talk about that.
black DJ. I think he's. It's like I don't think he lost it. If you put some turntables in front of him, I'm pretty sure Black would be like start mixing and stuff. You put a drum machine on in front of Black. Black is see, me and Black. We're Gemini's. We're multi talented, bro. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? He rap, make beats, businessman, studio. He got everything. The the arcade thrones. This is the
Arcade of Thrones.
arcade of thrones or something
Arcade
like
of
that.
Thrones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
arcade of thrones. Um, bro, man, and we got a team, man. We got a team behind him too. So it's a wrap.
That's the thing right there. He
You
said,
know what I'm
Shep said, Storm was rocking on his joints when he was in NC. And then he
saying?
said he about to start back making beats. Storm said he about to start back making beats soon. He
What? Now that
said, yeah, I
software
DJ. He
is
said, I
good.
DJ every time Shep comes down. So, yeah, he definitely still DJing and stuff like that. So,
Yep.
all right, Shep brought up a name, right? I'm going to throw a
hmm
name out there, soundclick.com. Soundclick.com. There's the name Beat Sweepers Production. Mean anything?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about it right quick. That was legendary in North Carolina, brother. I don't know if you know it or not. Beat Sweepers Productions was legendary when I was coming up.
Mm.
That was the go-to to have that Beat Sweepers
Production, yeah.
Yo, if you had that, you were doing something. So yo, for that, for the people that may not know, let's talk about that. How did y'all create that, and what was that moment like in time?
Man, it was a while ago, bro. It was a long time ago.
Right.
I was out here, man, but I kept that Beat Sweepers going out here. But you guys, like you said, man, you guys were doing that shit heavy out there. And SoundClick, woo, damn, you brought back memories, man.
These young people don't even know nothing about that.
Oh my God, damn, SoundClick. Is that still a thing though?
I think it's still around. I think they changed it up. They changed it up a little bit. I think it's still around, but it's not like it was back then.
Oh man, yeah. But we don't need that though.
Not nowadays. Not nowadays.
Because we have DistroKid, and we have all the other social media sites. Right. Black Planet, remember Black Planet?
I remember Black Planet.
There was Black Planet, MySpace. Like MySpace was like the launch pad because I had MySpace for a minute, and then everybody started fucking with Facebook,
right?
And it was a wrap. And now and then it was Instagram, and then Twitter. I think Twitter came out first, then Instagram.
Yeah.
Now it's TikTok, Snapchat. I don't even have a Snapchat, but I have a TikTok though.
Yeah, you gotta have a TikTok. They said Shep was the MySpace king.
Oh, Shep had all kinds of backgrounds and shit. All kinds of shit, man.
Yeah, that's a fact. And the thing about MySpace, that was one of the first platforms where you could put your own original music that I know of. Mm-hmm. Outside of you had Reverb Nation, you had SoundClick and stuff like that, but those were mostly for artists. So most artists knew about that, but MySpace was for everybody. So it's you can check out my music. Are you an artist? You're a producer? They can listen to your music right on your page. So it was that was the plus with MySpace. Then they changed it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people got discovered on MySpace as well. So salute to MySpace for what they did. So let me ask you, what was your first placement? And how did that feel for you? Because we talked about it a little off air. So let's talk about the first placement because they need to know. Your first placement, they played you on some big stations. So let's drop that for the people that may not know.
Well, my major placement was Hot 97 and 105.1. And it wasn't like a track or anything. It was actually a commercial.
Right.
Because we was doing something for Urban Idol. And we did a video. It was on TV.
Right, hold on.
I think about this shit damn, we was on TV too. Wow.
Right.
That's crazy. And down New York City, the market is still big.
Right.
But back in the day, niggas in the hood yo, I saw you on TV. You was on a bus going downtown. Niggas was yo, you was on TV last night.
Right. He said Steven Tyler's daughter directed the video.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think the people that they might have, you said it kind of fast. Hot 97, 105, New York, right? So you're still in the neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
First time this joint plays.
Yep.
Do you remember what was going through your mind and what did that moment feel like?
It wasn't just me, man. We was all happy, bro. We did a song, and then they made a commercial out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was the best. It was one of the feeling was just wow, we're almost famous.
Right.
But back then we were people, go up to each other y'all on TV, man. I heard y'all on the radio and stuff. Like, yeah. It was just like a commercial and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I remember when we was doing the Urban Idols, we was doing a promotion. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have like other, I mean, I don't know what, this was back in like what, 2002, 2003.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we was out there on foot, giving out flyers, talking to people. Yo, we were going everywhere in New York City.
Right.
Queensbridge, Left Rack, Southside Jamaica, Queens, Harlem, the
Right.
Bronx. So we go everywhere, give out flyers, and that's what we did. And then the people came to the Urban Idols. It was dope. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
We had it Saturday, Sunday, and the winners we performed at this club on 14th Street. I forgot the name of it, but Fat Joe was there. There was some celebrities was there, Street Team. We was out there doing our thing, man, for real.
That's the thing right there. In the comments, Storm said, y'all were hood famous for real. Then he just said the same thing. We were street teaming hand to hand. So a lot of times with the internet now, it's like, you can buy promo ads and stuff like that. People don't know about. Back then, you had to actually shake hands, put the footwork in, look people in the eyes. So it's like, how did that feel? Because, a lot of people, they know about New York City, big city of dreams. They say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. So for y'all, to be putting in the work, now you're on the radio. Now people saying we're seeing you on TV. The Urban Idol, right?
Urban Idols, yep.
Urban Idols is taking off, and y'all getting that respect in all these different boroughs and all these legendary places. How does that feel? Because I'm thinking at this time y'all were still kind of young back then.
Yeah. So we're like in our early 20s. Early 20s, man. Like, yeah, that was a long time ago.
Wow. He said the club was called Nels, I think. Nels.
Yeah, Club Nels, yep.
Club Nels. Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
UPN was supposed to pick up Urban Idols. UPN was supposed to pick up Urban Idols. That's shut.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
that's right.
So for a lot of people, they don't know. So it's like, you're a humble guy. It's like, I've known about you for years. I've known about you probably since SoundClick. So that's about how long I've known you. You're a humble guy, but it's like people don't know. You've done a lot. You've accomplished a lot. Your hands has been in a lot. So nowadays, when you see like the way the game is changing now, do you think that it's changed for the better? Or do you think nowadays people, they forget the people that paved the way? Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, back then you had to work a little harder. Whereas like now it's easy. You can just make a beat and you're famous tomorrow. Back then you had to put the work in. Do you think that's a benefit, or you think it's better, or do you think it's worse? Because back then they would call that development, artist development, production development, and stuff like that. Kind of made you ready. Do you think that's hurt the game, or you think it's made it better nowadays?
I think it's both. I think what I like about it is you have these platforms that will help you put your music out.
Right.
You still got to do the footwork. It's not like, oh, this okay to put your stuff out, but what about, marketing? What about getting followers and stuff?
Right.
And that's kind of like to me, it's kind of like a drawback, because you get followers and everything like that. Now, it's kind of hard, especially when you're not famous, when you're not like, when you're not, you don't have the money to put out for marketing and stuff like that.
Right.
It's hard, but I've been doing my research for the past 2 weeks about, how to put your stuff out there.
Right.
I mean, maybe you have to spend money in order to, to put yourself out there. Because sometimes, it's going to cost you. If you want the followers and you want the algorithms, because it's not about followers, it's about algorithms. It's about players.
Yep.
Getting into an algorithm, people are going to be like, oh, wow, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But You know, 9 times out of 10, the thing that I don't like is it's just so saturated.
It's so saturated.
It's very saturated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not hating on anyone that's doing their thing.
Right.
You know, go ahead, you know, do your thing, bro. Like get that money, get whatever, get what you need to get, you need to go. You know, it's just that too many of y'all.
So then,
No, but the seriousness though, um, it's just like a whole bunch. It's happening at the same time,
right.
and it's hard for you to stand out because once they hear your music or they say, "Oh, is this another dude that does trap?" or you
Right.
know, because that's what it seems like to me. I know the industry or whatever. I know they're looking for people that do, you know, that do what's popular. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's out right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. But you got to be different, man. You got to think outside the box sometimes. If you don't, you're gonna end up like Lex Luger. You know,
Right.
disrespect to him. You know what I'm saying? But look at Lex Luger. You know what I'm saying? And he just kept making that same style over and over and over again. You know, look at Just Blaze. He does certain tracks. You know what I'm saying? Like different genres of music and stuff like that. Kanye,
Right.
Ninth Wonder.
Right.
Shout out to Ninth Wonder, man. That's like another person. That's like my like as far as like producers that inspired me. My top five. I got five producers.
Okay.
Five producers. Number five is Just Blaze. I
Just
like
like
Just Blaze. Four is if you ever heard of Illmind.
your mind. I remember your mind.
Illmind. Illmind. He's a dope producer. Uh, three, Alchemist.
Alchemist.
Yeah, Alchemist. And
Alchemist was popping.
secretly, and um, my second one would be DJ Muggs.
DJ Marks. That was Cypress
Hmm.
Hills and them people. DJ
Yep,
Marks. Yep. Yep.
yep. And my number one will be Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin. Oh man. So you don't want 99 problems on him.
Hmm.
Yo, but the thing is, right? You know, and you being a producer, you know this very well. All
Yeah,
five of them have a unique sound, a unique style.
right.
They're all dope for a certain sound that they can do other things, but it's like they all have their niche sound. So let me ask you, out of those five, what is it that you like about each one of them? It's like it may be this one producing, it may be this melodies, it may be his drums. What was it that captivated you with each one to put them in your top five?
Just their uniqueness.
Uniqueness.
Like you can go in a certain lane with Just Blaze. You can go into that. That's why I like to do drum loops because a lot of like some of Just Blaze joints he did with Jay Z or drum loops,
Right.
like loops he'll get from like certain old songs and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, melody, melody wise, you know, I think melody wise, I think Just Blaze can do it too.
Right.
Because you know, around here he did that on the just the regular keyboard or whatever. Um, what other joint he did? Pump It Up. With just
Yeah.
for
Joe Button.
what's that guy's name? Joe Button.
Yeah.
um, just plays a lot of What We Do Is Wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? What We Do Is Wrong with Freeway,
Yeah.
Jay Z, and Beanie Mac. I
Mm.
love that joint. And that joint with him and his young screen the place to eat seeing that where they take the rock that joint. I love that joint. You know what I'm saying?
That's what size, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That joint. Um, the thing with Nice Wonder though, it takes me back to when my mom used to listen to Motown and like what's the Temptations, the Four Tops, the what do you call them? The Drifters,
Drifters.
the damn man, I can go on forever, bro, but I'm
That
high.
soul. He bring that soul. He bring the Ninth Wonder definitely has that soul. He definitely
Like
brings that soulful
that's
sound.
one that puts you in that. It's just like, it just makes you. It makes you wanna, you know. Alchemist. Alchemist is different. I think Alchemist and DJ Muggs,
Right.
to me, are they one and the same? But Alchemist is more. He does the keyboard shit too, low
Right.
key.
Yeah.
Um, but Alchemist and DJ Muggs, to me, they're like on the same plateau because they dig, bro. If the producer's one thing, if you're a good producer, like I dig. I don't have like records. I
Right.
have samples on my hard drive. You know what I'm saying? I have like 10,000 samples. I haven't even gone through, and I had them since like 19, not 19. Excuse me. Let me chill. um, like
Nori would say, "We got to
2012,
relax. We got to relax, Hazmat."
2012, 2012, 2012.
I feel
Yeah,
you.
and I've still been like digging and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just love the digging and everything. Um, Rick Rubin. The reason why I like Rick Rubin, Beastie Boys album.
And that beat, them beats was hard on the beats right now. It was different. The
Yep.
beats was hard.
I told you I'm different, bro. Like I don't just listen to just regular rap music. Well, it was still hip hop,
It was hip
you know what
hop.
I'm
It
saying?
was
But
hip hop.
it was hip hop, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like a different kind of hip hop, like that punk rock, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But it was
You know,
it was
but
energy. You could feel the energy. It was like a
right,
different lane. And that's
right,
the thing.
right,
In that era, it was like it was cool to be different. It's like you couldn't come up being an MC or a producer and you sound like somebody else.
right,
So it was
right.
like somewhere along the way that went out the window. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
like you put out a banging beat tomorrow. By
Right.
Friday, you got 1,000 beats that sound like Hazmat or Hazmat type beat. Do you think that's messing up the game as far as creativity as well? Because it's like now it's like everybody's just trying to reduplicate what's already working. You have the ones that stand out that's trying to be creators, and those are the ones that I think last the test of time.
Right. Well, as a producer, it's okay to go certain ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think the problem is that, like I said, number one, it's saturated, and number two, you know, when you're trying to go in that lane, it's just like, damn, it don't sound different. It sound like DJ whoever, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you just gotta be unique, man. Whenever you do stuff like that, you gotta be unique. You gotta have your own sound. You gotta have a certain way you flip it, whether if it's a sample or whether you're if we're doing something,
Right.
at the same time. Um, at the same time, it's just like you just gotta be different, man. You gotta have your own lane, bro.
Right.
Um, when you're doing certain lanes or whatnot. But like I said, it's okay. It's cool, you know. Like I ain't gonna lie, like I've been on that Griselda shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I love Griselda. You know what I'm saying? That because Griselda kind of remind me of like um Griselda kind of remind me of like like the G raps from the
Right.
'90s, but more like
Right.
like really dirty, like really grungy beats. Like those are that's the kind of music I grew up on, and that's why I like Griselda because it kind of have that nostalgic feeling.
Right.
You have that nostalgic feeling to it. But yeah, man, I have this thing I'm doing called Nobody Type Beats.
Nobody.
Yes, I do make my own. I do have my own lane.
Right.
So so you hear it, when the album come out.
And that's the fact right there. It's called Nobody Type Beats.
No, 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 no. That's not the album.
Okay. Okay.
No, no, no. That's not the album. The album is called Beats by Hazmat Volume One.
Beats by Hazmat.
Beats by Hazmat Volume One, and it drops on March 5th,
March 5th.
2022. Yep. Mhm.
We're about
So,
22, 23 days away.
yes, sir.
Okay. How
Yes,
many
sir.
joints on it? How many joints on it?
There's about 14 or 15 joints.
About 15.
Um, 14, 15 joints. Um, just different stuff, man.
Right.
Different stuff.
Yeah. So let me ask you, because I know all of them are special to you, right? If you
Right.
had to pick three off of the joints that meant the most to you, which three would they be on that
Um, Three.
joint? Yeah.
Woo.
Chef said 300 is fire.
300. Okay. 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 I like 300, but that's like if out of three joints,
Right.
I think the joints I like would be 79 Blackout,
79 blackout.
79 Blackout, um, 79 Blackout, Duct Tape,
That's it.
and the what's the name of that joint? It's the second track of the album. It's the intro and the what's the name of that joint? See? Hold on one second. So the second joint is Grand Army.
Grand Army.
Yes,
Wow.
Grand Army. Yes.
So what
So
was the
those are the
process
three
like?
joints I like.
Those are the
Woo!
three. What was that
Those are the
process
three.
like? Picking them, narrowing them down because you make so much. What was that process like for you? And I know that was a hard making that decision to cut them down because it's like, yo, you
Man,
constantly creating, bro.
originally I was gonna have a I call it my little grown folk album. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone was like, "Yo," you know what I'm saying? The album is dope. Because I let them hear the first version because I had like two versions of it.
Right.
So this version that I'm putting out is like the second version, but I only kept one track from the first version, and that's the last track of the album. But the first version was more like a lot of instrumentation and stuff, and it was, to me it was dope because it was like R&B,
Right.
but more, more dope. But I'm like, damn, I'm an adult, so I'm making adult music for adults.
Right. No, I feel you.
um, so someone told me, yo, the beats are dope, but that's not the Hazmat I know.
Wow.
So I'm like, damn, bro. I decided to just like switch it up. And it was hard because I have a lot of dope beats, man, but I don't want to, if I can do like a 27 or 28 track joint,
Right.
that'd be dope. But, 15 to do, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But man, I think these are the best joints I've done. I'm going to make another joint, another album with my homie D Drop. So that's
Okay.
going to be fire. Because D Drop is a dope producer, man. Straight up.
That's a fact. So let me ask you, right? We're doing the let's do a listening party, right? Are you showing up? And you from New York, so you're gonna know what I'm saying. Are you showing up with the Timbs on? You showing up with your Gore-Texes? You got the J's, or you putting the Stacey Adams on? How you showing up? And what's the
Stacey
vibe for
Adams.
this album?
He's
I
on
had to throw
Stacey
that in
Adams.
there because you said the adult joint, but you said you ain't put that one out. Just throwing that out there. But what type of vibe is the
Uh,
album gonna bring?
um, I think the vibe is more or less like with some street elegance. You know, the rock your Timbs. You can rock your Jordans. You can rock your Ferragamos or whatever.
Right,
Your Versace's and all that. But there's some griminess, so you definitely got to rock your Timbs. You know what I'm
right.
saying? But yeah, there's some elegance into it. Some elegant elements into it. Some orchestration and stuff. So you got to have that, that cool look and stuff.
Right. That's dope right there. And the thing is like, yo, you've been making beats for a while, so maybe you can help some producers as well. Even myself, I make a
Right,
little beats, but I haven't been doing it long. You know
right,
how you have a beat and it sounds like a loop. You might have change up set, but it just stays repetitive. Doom, doom, doom,
Right.
16, switch, 8.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to learn how to put movement in the track, the scope it and shape it so that it's moving, so that it's flowing and not just, if that makes sense?
Yeah. I would say study. Listen to a regular R&B song, listen to a regular hip hop song, or I would listen to like Fleetwood Mac or um, Pink Floyd.
Right.
Um, you know, you got to get some kind of some of those elements in there. You know what I'm saying? Kind of see how they formulate their music. You know, even if you just, even if you do something repetitive, add other elements to it. You know, have it make it sound like if it's the hook is coming, and then the drop, boom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I said, just listen to some real dope music, study that dope music. Don't copy it,
Right.
but
Right.
apply their method to what you're doing and get an idea on how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's all you have to do.
That's real right there. So let me ask you, do you prefer the keyboard sound or live instruments?
Both,
Okay, cool. All right.
both,
All
yeah,
right.
both.
So okay. When you're first making a beat, I'm pretty sure it varies. Do you get the melody first or do you come up with the drums and the kicks and stuff first? Or do you use the melody first?
Um, the melody, the melody, would be the first thing I would do because I want to see where it takes me. You know what I'm saying? Like that music talk. I want to see where the melody takes me, and then that's how I'm able to build around that melody. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, I'll create the melody, but again, splice. If you have no kind of idea, man, and you just bring up splice and just listen to some of the samples they have, especially like trap or hip hop or R&B. Um, yeah, man, you could just create something really dope. And I do that most of the time, but you know, that's how the inspiration come out. Sometimes sometimes you'll force it, but um most of the time, it's just it comes from inside. Like, you build something around a certain sample, and it's just dope, man. It's really dope. It makes the sample sound different than what it originally was, without even chopping or anything. I have some tracks that I've done that I did off splice that I just built around a certain. Sometimes if it's a flute sound, I'll build around a certain flute sound, or
Right.
someone singing, um, someone just singing some acapella, and I can just build something around it. I pretty much do it all, man.
And that's dope right there. So let me ask you, as a producer, how important is it, right? There's no right or wrong in making music. And I'm gonna ask
Nah,
from certain eras is like, even if some people that sample, you may get away with it, like the Biggie song with Juicy. Everybody knows that's Juicy Fruit. But then you have other samples where it's like you can't figure out where it's from. It's like that two different types of style sampling, or is it like it just goes by what feels good, what sounds good? What's how does that work when it
I
comes to
think
sampling?
it to me it's about what sounds good. What catches your ear. You can listen to a song. Like I listen to a song, and if something catches my ear, and I'm like, oh, yeah, and then I just kind of play with it. Sometimes I play it over and over and over again. Wifey gets mad, like, can you play something else? You know,
Right.
but yeah, because I just gotta listen to it. So let me see what I can do with it. If I take this first part, put it here, and and just kind of manipulate it and see what I can come up with.
And go from there. Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
dope right
man.
there. And for the people that's watching, let's let them know the date of the project again. I don't want to say it wrong. What's the date for the new project coming out? Beats by Hazmat.
All right, so the project is called BeatsBy Hazmat Volume 1. It drops March 5th, 2022. 15 tracks. So, and also, I'm also going to have a contest or a challenge. Um, Anyone that downloads my album that can spit a 16 on any one of my beats, you know, that'll be dope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, might have a contest. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that'll be really dope. Um, that's something that I definitely want to do. I'm definitely going to announce that. So sooner or later, when the album is out, you know, we're going to definitely do that. Want to see who had the hot 16s and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you was
Like,
talking about TikTok earlier. You was mentioning TikTok earlier. Nowadays, with these
Yeah.
challenges, TikTok will put you in the game.
Hmm.
So, you know,
Yeah, it's gonna be. Hey, it's gonna be everywhere, kid.
right.
It's gonna be everywhere, my guy.
Yeah. And that, so you're
Seriously.
definitely doing it the right way. And that's the thing right there. So like when people want to get beats from you, are they already pre-made or do you custom make beats for people as well? What's the process for somebody that may be watching and say, yo, I like to get a joint from you? What's the normal process to get a hazmat beat?
I have too many of them.
Right.
So 9 times out of 10, you know, it's gonna be done. And you know, I'll give them a lot of beats. Well, I'll give them some beats. Which ones they feel like, you know, which ones that they feel that's in their lane. You know, and occasionally if I'm with an artist, you know, if they in the studio and everything, you know, I can just create something right then and there. You
Right.
know, it won't take me long. You know what I'm saying? So, but mainly everything is done. If there's something they want me to change, like, oh, you can change this, make this a 4-bar hook or whatever, you know, it wouldn't be no issue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wouldn't be no issue at all.
Yeah. That's dope right there. So when you're creating, right? When you hear other people, they make a beat, now they use your beat, right?
Yeah.
Let's think about some of the moments where it's like, wow, they killed that, right? Like,
Oh man.
let's think about 5 of them. Let's talk about those real quick. Like moments where it's like somebody jumped on a hazmat beat and it blew you away. Like, yo, I know they didn't just murder my beat like that. 5 joints, right? I know it's hard because it's like, yo, they all special. You know, it's all dope. But it had to be 5
Um,
that stood out. Like, yo, I know he didn't do
Billy Rhodes,
that. Bro.
the joint he did, not proud of me. The other one he did. That joint, whoo,
It's on the My Era. In My Era.
my era, yeah, yeah. So man, it's dope, man. I have to give him props, kid. Like for real, for real. Um, that joint, I think that joint, No Love. That's the name it's called. It's called No Love, and that joint, I like the way he spit his bars for that joint. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Shit capitalized. They can't take it from me. Keep Dick strapping alive. Ain't no chasing the V. Big shit clapping, you die. So,
Right. Yeah.
woo.
He went in
I
on
was
that album.
like,
That's a dope album. That's a classic
yes,
album right there. That's definitely in My
yes,
Era.
yes,
Definitely a
yes,
breath of
yes,
fresh
yes.
air for what's out there.
Um, what other joint? Nero. Can't forget Nero, man. Shout out to Nero, man. Push Me Away. I listen to that. That's like one of the songs you gotta listen to.
Right.
If you don't listen to that, your day ain't complete. So I gotta play the whole album, not just Push Me Away, but the whole album. But Push Me Away, I felt that album. I felt that song, man. That song was a really dope song. You know what I'm
That's on
saying?
1111, right?
Yeah, that's off of 1111.
Yeah, that's a solid
Um,
project too. That's definitely dope.
what other joint? that was Monty Michi. There's a joint called "What You Gonna Do, Huh?" Now that beat, I just made that beat just off the strength of making the beat.
Right.
And Monty Michi, she tore it up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Money's a problem. Money makes it a problem, yeah. Like definitely
Oh, I
salute
was
to
like,
Money makes
okay. That whole joint was just dope, man. Her whole EP is dope. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Monty Michi. You know what I'm saying? Who else? My man Focus got a joint out called Nothing Like You.
nothing like you.
Um, that joint is hard. You know what I'm saying? That joint is definitely hard. You know what I'm saying? Whew, I think the fifth one has to be. Um, I did a joint called So Hot. Me, Black, and Chink, and dude named Trevor or
Okay.
Treasure. You know what I'm saying? Um, that joint, that joint was one of the biggest joints we did. Because
Wow.
whenever we perform that joint, it's called So Hot.
Right.
Whenever we perform that joint, it's a big song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I did that joint back in 2002. DJ Tress, yes,
He did
he
trash.
sung the hook. Yeah, he sung the hook, and it was just a rap from there, bro. It was a whole rap, man. That song just took off.
Out of here.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing right there. And it's like, yo, it's well deserved. You've been putting in dudes for a while. And it's like, yo, to see you
Yep,
get your flowers and to see everything coming together as planned. That's a
yep.
beautiful thing right there. So let's talk about like you got any movie placements? You're gonna start getting into that, like the games. I know that
Mm,
right now. The game
yeah,
placement, movie placement, scoring. Like, do you have
yeah.
that, any of that in the future for you?
Um, I'm actually going to be working on a documentary series.
Okay.
Hopefully, it should be on Netflix next year. It's called Untold.
Untold.
So that's basically what that's basically it. So everything is coming into play and everything. So it's it's going to be dope. You know what I'm saying? It's just documentaries of certain things people may have not have known. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Certain people that's in our culture, black culture and stuff. So
Right.
it's going to be it's going to be big. I've also I have my sister, the Myrnavator.
Right.
She's an influencer. Shout out to Myrnavator, and for those who are into like physical fitness, like jogging, trail running, skiing. So my sister does it all, man. Um, she has her own page. It's called The Myrnavator. Definitely follow her on Twitter, Instagram, and definitely follow her on Facebook. 'Cause she's doing her thing. She got commercials out. She's sponsored by Lululemon,
Wow.
um, other I think LLB, something like that. Yeah, she's doing her thing, man.
Big
She's doing
thing.
her thing.
Big thing.
And she has these commercials. I did a commercial for her for Ford. She did something for Ford.
Wow.
I did something for her for Best Buy. That was in 2021.
Right.
I did something for her podcast. Um, I also did some music for her recently for an inspirational commercial because she's an influencer. So
Right.
that's that she got almost 500,000 followers, man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
it's big. That's big.
That's very big. That's
That's
very
big.
big.
You
And it
know
ain't
what I'm saying?
easy to get a 500,000 followers. So, yo, that's
Yep.
dope
It
right
ain't easy. She got a book out called it's in Barnes and Nobles. It's called A Beautiful Work in Progress.
there. Beautiful working
Definitely, it's on ebooks as well. So definitely check it out because she's doing her thing, man. She's definitely doing her thing. Um, you know, yeah, man, and hopefully other opportunities could come my way, man. The Netflix, my sister's movement, you know, I'm putting in a lot of work, man. Putting in a lot of work. My whole team is putting in a lot of work.
So we putting in
You
work.
know,
That's the
we
thing.
just work, man. Shep putting in work, Black putting in work. He got the Echelon Studio joint that's coming soon. You know, we got other artists that's putting in work.
Right.
Hopefully, I get to work with them in the future. So, we got 232. We got Black Sun, um,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Zay.
Yeah.
Hashtag Zay. Shout out to Zay.
Yeah.
Um,
232.
you know, I'm also going to be working with Shep family and everything too.
Right.
Uh, so I got my project done, so definitely got some flexibility and stuff. So I got something in the works, man. I got a lot of stuff in the works. You know what I'm saying? Can't forget Legend of the Cipher.
That's
Um,
pop flash trivia.
I did work for them too. So definitely get your Legend of the Cipher, get your flashcards because they got the hip hop flashcards going, and you definitely want to get your own hip hop flashcards.
Right.
Teach these youngins, ask these youngins these questions. You
That's,
know what I'm saying?
that's a
Ask
fact.
them questions about, what was the name of Karis One's first single, or and I was just like, who's Karis One?
Right. I want to
you
say
know,
my philosophy, but I might be wrong.
his first single was, I believe, was the South Bronx or the Bridge is Over, something like that.
Gotcha.
'Cause that's what put him on the map. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Wow.
Yeah, man.
I need to get me some of them cards then.
Shout out to my man Todd, man. Shout
Right.
out to Todd Anderson, man. He's definitely doing his thing, man. Um, you want to link him if you're
Todd
interested in
Anderson.
getting a copy of your hip hop flash trivia cards. Definitely, bro.
Todd Anderson.
Definitely, man.
Definitely.
For
Definitely.
real.
That because it's needed. That's the thing right there. Is like, yeah, you gotta know the history to know the future where you're going.
History. Yep.
You gotta know the history. You gotta know the history.
Definitely.
Yeah, he put it right here. Todd Anderson. He on Facebook, Todd Anderson, or that's IG?
Todd Anderson. He's definitely on Facebook.
Got you.
And he's definitely on IG.
Okay.
So he's on all platforms. So definitely link him if you want to get a copy of the hip hop flash trivia. Cause it's dope, man. You can have your family. You know what I'm saying? You can just chill on after Thanksgiving. Bug out and things like that. Just chill. Have a little kickback.
Right.
You can have your little your hip hop flash trivia and everything. You know,
That's up.
ask some questions to these youngins and stuff. Cause gotta learn them something every now and then. You know what I'm
Gotta learn something, yo. And not
saying?
only,
Yeah.
not only do you have the flashcards, you started a group, the Producers Guild.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk
Mhm.
about that right quick. Let's talk about the Producers Guild and what
Okay.
inspired it and what's the whole purpose of it. Because a lot of times people may see it and they may not know the knowledge behind it. So let's talk about the Producers Guild. How did you come up with the name and what is it?
Well, at first I wanted to create a group where producers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I decided everybody produces content. They produce business, produce jobs. So mainly the page is for people get together, sell their goods. If they offer studio time, if they have like artwork. Shout out to Lost Fly. I got other artists. My man Christopher McMasters, aka Joker. Got my man Tao. There's a lot of artists that sell their own artwork and stuff like that.
Right.
Then I got my cousin, Lady T. She does decor for like the bathroom, living room, things like that.
Go.
Um, inspired by different brand names and stuff. We got people that cooks, people that, just people in general that, got businesses, whether it's entrepreneurs and stuff like that. There's a lot of them out there,
Right.
and I want them to come out there, sell their goods, whether if you're in the marketing, whether if you're in, just selling sandwiches, bro. Doesn't matter, man. You're producing something. You're producing money. You're producing commerce. That's the whole purpose of the Producers Guild. Everyone produces stuff, and everyone can come and sell stuff, advertise. They can do whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose of the Producers Guild. Just collective minds coming together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's dope right there. And there's always powers in numbers, strength in numbers.
Exactly, man. I want everyone to grow, dog. I want everyone to get it. Every day I get on the Producers Guild. Sometimes, I do it late, but every day I get on there and I'm like, yo, man, what up, creators? What's going on, man? Today is Monday. Today is Tuesday. Try to get people motivated, man. Get people out there to to put their music out, put their beats out, or whatever they're selling, or whatever they created. You know what I'm saying? Anything people create, anything people produce, whether it's music, food, clothing, uh, just content. You know what I'm saying? If you're a filmmaker, an editor, if you have your own publication, your own blog, if you have, just if you have other groups, if you want to link my group, you're more than welcome because we're all out for one thing,
Right.
and that's to get to the top, man. That's the bottom line.
And that's a fact right there. And with that is networking. How important is networking in being successful in this game? For the people that may be watching, they may not understand the importance. They may think I can
Right.
do it on my own. I don't need nobody. How important is the network and having a solid team of motivated people around you to be successful in this game?
You got to have them motivated. You got to have them disciplined. You just got to have a strong team that can push you to the forefront. Especially if you're passionate about what you do,
Right.
your team is going to be passionate behind you, and they're going to make sure that you get to the top. You don't want to be surround yourself with people that want to either eat off of you or want to be your friend because you have money or that you're going places. You
Right.
want a team that is working to get you where you need to be, or you can help them work to get them to where they need to be, vice versa. As long as y'all together doing and you're out for the same goal, you know what I'm saying? You're unstoppable.
And that's a fact right there. And one thing that I noticed, right, is like y'all have strategically tapped into different markets, with the team that y'all have together. Is that by design, or is this like, yo, this is what I like to do, that's what you like to do? Or did y'all strategically say, okay, you handle that, I'm gonna handle this? How did that structure come about? Because I see what y'all doing and y'all definitely locking it down. It's definitely
I
positive.
think it's more of what's best for us as far as what we can do.
Right.
Like me, I do my music production, engineering. Chink, Black, he's into he's an entrepreneur. He does the marketing.
Right.
You know, he has an artist, Mani Michi. He's always pushing her. He's always pushing her to the forefront.
Right.
You got DJ Shep.
You
He's
can say
out there. He's international.
international.
Our shit is out there in other parts of the world and shit.
Right.
Thanks to Shep. You know what I'm saying? So as long as everything flows cohesively and you all have an understanding of what the goal is, you know, we get to the overall goal. Like I said earlier, having a good team and knowing what each one's doing, you're unstoppable. You're good to go.
That's a fact right there. Definitely unstoppable right there. And speaking of international, I remember one time Shep told me a place I never heard of. He said, yeah, we getting spent in Serbia. I said, Serbia? But it's like, yo, when you say that, this is 10, 15 years ago he was doing that. So I can just imagine what he's doing now. So it's like, yeah, definitely international. And you definitely have a dope team around you. For 2022 and beyond, where do you see your brand going? And as far as the team, where do you see y'all going in the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years? Where do you want to be?
Movies, Netflix, Miami Michi going tour across the country,
Right.
with the Megans, the Cardi B, the you know, the babies, the little babies,
Right.
anyone that's doing their thing, And as far as me, in the team, I plan on doing a lot more production for other artists, for movies, for my sister,
Right.
creating different revenue streams. I'm also hopefully I'm going to be teaching some people how to make music. There is a place out here called Soho in Arizona, in
Right.
Phoenix, that my people's is opening up, and they're gonna have like classrooms for kids that interested in music production. I could definitely teach them a thing or two on how to make beats and stuff. So
That's dope right there. And education is definitely dope. And that's definitely another
yep,
avenue right there. So let me ask you before, we get off of it. What was the transition like moving from the East Coast to Arizona for you? Like what was that like? Was it a smooth transition or was it totally different? Because I know it's hot for one. Right. What else? What are some of the similarities and what are some of the differences from being in New York to Arizona?
well, it was rough at first because I didn't know anyone. Um, I definitely, I had my family, I had my brother, my dad, and stuff. That's the reason why I moved out here because
Right.
New York was, to me, was getting kind of overcrowded. Like, I
Right.
wanted to try something different. And Arizona, besides PA, Florida, I wanted to go out west to see what it is. Because, I came out here before I decided you know, to move out to Arizona. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it took me a while to get used to. It does get hot. Trust me.
Right.
I'm not even going to elaborate on that.
I feel you.
I'm getting hot just thinking about it. But yeah, it started rough, and then when I got to know people, check my surroundings and stuff, and it was good. Just linking with people, people that does music and things like that, and it was it from there. Now I kind of kept my circle small, but I do have my people's. Shout out to Hiram, shout out to Brittany, shout out to Yolanda, Lara, the whole Assyrian crew, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, man, I got my peoples out here, but I keep my circle tight,
I feel you.
I
You
keep
have
it
to.
tight.
You have to.
For real.
Cruz checked in. He said salute. Cruz said salute Hazmat. What up, bro? Salute the
All
crew.
right, what up, Cruz? What
All
up,
right.
Cruz?
So let me ask you.
All right.
Okay, it's two different markets, right? New York.
Mhm.
When we talk about the entertainment, we talk about music. You got Broadway. You got all this stuff. New York is just everything. It's a melting pot. What is the scene like in Arizona? Like, what is the indie scene like out there? And what is the scene like in the West Coast compared to on the East Coast?
Well, as far as the scene, the hip hop scene out here, it's more underground. Like there's a lot of artists out here. Like people are sleeping on Arizona. There's a lot of talent out here, man. Shout out to my man OG Freeze. Shout out to the whole Dark Nation. Um, I mean, there's a lot of talent out here, man. You know, and and we got some cats out here from Cali. That's doing their thing. Um, and the comparison is totally different,
Totally
obviously.
different. Totally
You know
different.
what I'm saying? It's totally different. People out here are hungry. In New York, we've been hungry.
Right.
Now people are actually, doing the right thing because back then it wasn't united. Now it's it's united now because
Right.
you know people are doing their thing. People, they got the social media platforms and they have all other platforms and stuff. So it's a good thing, and it's wonderful out here, but it's nothing like the East Coast. Though, I'll tell you that.
Right. That's the thing. Do you think for like young artists that's coming up, do you think it's better to catch it when they're hungry like that or to be in once it's already established and everything is already in place? What do you
I
think
think
is
I think if you're determined that you want to be, if you want to be on top, I think the hunger should drive a person to be on top. Just having everything put out there makes you, to me, it makes you like, oh, I don't have to worry about it. You know, you wanna challenge yourself. You know
definitely
what
so?
I'm saying?
Right,
Especially
definitely.
when you're writing and when you're creating, you want to challenge yourself. You always want to put yourself out there to a point where you know you're capable of doing certain things, and and you're doing it. That's the bottom line. So I think challenging yourself, that's the most important thing.
That's a fact right there. And I know a lot of artists, they want to stay in their city. How important is representing your city, but networking outside of your city, getting outside of your state? There's a big world out here. How important is
Hmm.
that for the up and coming artists that may be
It's
watching
very
this?
important. It's very important. I think, don't just be local, man. Everybody in your hood knows who you are. When you go to a show in another city, you're just gonna bring your hood. No
Right,
one's gonna know who you are. You definitely wanna network. You definitely wanna put yourself out there and let other people besides your peoples in your hood know who you are. Because that's the most important thing is networking. You have social media, and sometimes you pay for some algorithms because at the end of the day, you can have 400 friends, and out of the 400, only 50 of them like your shit.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
So the best thing to do is try to link up with someone who's into marketing, like digital media, marketing digital media, and you can get algorithms to where you'll be put on playlists. You'll be put on certain playlists on Spotify, Apple
right,
Music, Tidal, Pandora, YouTube Music, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Things like that.
right.
YouTube. Make sure you use YouTube. You gotta use YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get
You
used to it.
have to use YouTube because I need to use YouTube. But other than that, you have to use YouTube. YouTube. Tell people, yeah, I got a YouTube page. Check out my beats.
Right.
And the
Subscribe and
more you
like.
tell people, the more you tell people, the more people will tell their people and be like, yo, I heard some shit that this nigga did. Yo, check this out.
Right,
And they'll listen to it and their people's like, yo, who's that? Oh, that's my people. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, man. You gotta network, bro. It's
you
the
gotta
most
network.
important thing.
Network is the most important thing right there. Definitely in the game right here. So let me
Yep.
ask you, right? You've been in the game for a while, right? We see the stories, we see the movies, we hear people, it's like, they go through what they go through to make it to
Right.
success. But it never was just easy or handed to nobody, right?
Nope.
And I'm pretty sure it was the same for every one of us, right? So look back on your career. You don't have to put your business out. Just think back. You get it in your mind. At some of your hardest moments, some of your hardest times, where it's like, I'm putting in this work. You may not be seeing the results from it. What got you through those situations? Bro?
I think, talking to my cousins from time to time, talking to Black, talking to Chink, you know, as long as they're working, as long as even if Black decides, I don't want to do this no more, you know what I'm saying? I'm going
Right,
to continue to do it,
right,
you know. But deep down inside, I just, sometimes I just be like, what am I doing this for, And then,
right,
my cousin would be like, yo, cuz, yo, check this out. This Rod Digger's just on your beat, and
right,
I just be like, what? I don't even your Black just some shit like just surprised me, bro, and that just it keeps me going, man. Like he surprised me a lot, man, and
right,
that's what like that's what gets me out of my funk.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And you know I don't often have that that mentality, but sometimes I just sometimes be like, yo, what am I doing this for? Like I'm doing this all just to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I shouldn't even do it, but I'm going to continue because I love it. I love doing it.
passion.
That's another thing. the love for the music is another thing that keeps me going. And I have no quarrels with that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta love what you do. You don't just do it just to get famous. You gotta just have passion for it. Without my passion, which drives me to do it, I probably wouldn't, you know, I probably wouldn't even be doing it in the first place.
No,
You
that's
know?
a fact. No, that's a fact right there. It's like we see the documentaries and we see the behind the scenes, right? And being an artist, being a producer, different things like that, even hosting a podcast. Most of us are working a 9 to 5. We see
Hmm.
these other people, they get to sit in the studio for 8 months at a time and stuff like that. And it's like, then people look at us like, well, why ain't you living to, people that know you. Well, why are you in
Right.
the studio? Why are you da da da? And it's like, you putting in the work, right? And it's like, you're working now, it's gonna pay off. But it's like people from the outside, they don't understand. Without the big machine, it's a lot of work. It's
Right.
long hours. It's not always, golden gooses and flowers and stuff like that. It's like it's a lot of hard nights. It's a lot of you sleep at work, you double, you're doing two things at once.
Yep.
A lot
I'm
of
not even. That's facts.
yeah. So
That's facts.
so when I see people that's been doing it for years consistently, and you're like this, still going, still going. Bro, I tip my hat to you because I know this industry. Sometimes people can't make it. It'll eat them up. It'll spit them out, like you said, if they don't have that passion and drive. Brother, you have the drive. You're driven. You have the knowledge. You have the wisdom. You have the experience. You have the skills. And I want to
Yep.
celebrate you because, like I said, I was a fan of you even before I knew what you looked like. Only thing I knew was Beats by Hazmat. Only thing I knew was Beat Sweepers production.
Yeah.
So to see, we friends now and to be able to talk on Facebook, it's like, we're talking 10 plus years.
Mm.
So I know with that
Since,
experience, bro,
since MySpace.
since MySpace, you
Yep.
can't put a price on that, bro. For the knowledge that the experience that you've learned and everything you've been through, you can't put a price on that. People have to know,
Right.
like, if he's been doing it this long, right? Sometimes it's like, when somebody's in a room and they're talking and they know what they're doing, sometimes it's better to listen. You're one of those people when it comes to music and production, people should sit back and listen like, I wanna how you said you studied the ninth wonders and stuff like that. That's
Right.
what you are to us. The only difference is the world, not the whole world. Worldwide places know of you. The only difference is if everybody knew, like boom, hazmat, bro, you would be getting paid to do seminars. You would, do you understand what I'm trying to say,
Hmm.
bro? So no matter what's happening, no matter what it looks like, bro, you're a legend. You're a legend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Veteran in the game. Vetted. You've been tried. You've been through it. You're still going,
Right.
bro. It's gonna pay off. Whether it's in the royalties for your children, it's gonna pay off. You didn't put the work in. It's like, and you're still putting the work, and you got the right people, and you're making the decisions. So the right decisions and the right moves, so it's growing,
Right.
bro. I want to encourage you to keep going. I
Hmm.
support you. I'm
Thank you.
definitely excited about everything, and it's like, that's why I had to have you up here because it's like certain times it's like you root for people, and it's like, I'm a
Yeah.
true fan of your beats. It's like, I would love to see you get your flowers. I would love for your name to be trending. I
Thank you.
would love to see your music viral. And it's
Right.
like sometimes people will sit back and they can make it happen, but for some reason people don't do that. And it's kind of
Right.
like, that's the reason for this podcast show. It's like people need to hear the story. People need to know what you've been through. People here need to know like the
Right.
accomplishments you made, but they need to know that it wasn't easy,
Mm-mm.
bro. And it's like, when we're indie in this game, we're some of the most underappreciated,
Appreciative. Yeah.
undervalued, hardest working. And it's like, and everybody else get the flowers, and it's like all we get is Yo, it's gonna happen.
The people that got the machine behind them get the flowers.
That's a fact right there, bro. And it's like, yo, if you had the machine, you would be out of here. But one thing that I
Mm-hmm.
know that's a fact, you don't need the machine.
Nope.
You don't need the machine, bro. And if your work that you putting in, you didn't compromise, you didn't take the easy route, you didn't do what everybody else did. You stayed true to you, bro. I know in my
Mm-hmm.
heart that that's gonna pay off for you. It's gonna pay off for your kids. It's gonna pay off for the family. Yo, so I salute and have much respect for you and the team. Yo, and I know that
Thank
you
you.
keep growing and you're gonna keep grinding and going higher and higher. If there's
Yes.
anything that we might have missed that the people need to know, let's tap on that real quick.
Well, I basically don't have anything else.
So that's
But I just wanna thank you very, very much for having me on your show. And, I definitely appreciate you saluting me and the team, FAMM, Fam Click, you know what I'm saying? B Sweeper Productions. Shout out to Snuff Fruit Entertainment. That that's the West Coast label.
right.
Shout out to my man D Drop. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Like I said, man. Thank you so much for having me on your show, man. For real.
Yeah, it's definitely an honor to have you here. And I got one of your joints. I want to cue it up right quick. I want to play that before, and then we're gonna talk
Okay.
about what inspired this joint right here, and then we'll
Okay.
wrap it up after that. Let me pull it right quick. All right. So
Okay.
while I'm doing it, I think you know which one it is. So I have you. I think it's Anthem. I think it's
Okay.
Anthem. Am I tripping? If I'm not mistaken, it's Anthem. I have you.
Beat by Hazmat.
fault, my brother. That's Eastern. I said
No,
anthem. My
no,
bad.
no, no,
My
no.
fault.
It's all good.
My fault.
It's
So
all
what
good.
inspired that joint right there?
So, being in New York City, you're exposed to many different cultures.
Right.
And the culture that is very intriguing is like, the Arabic, Islamic culture and their music and stuff. So that's my inspiration because, that's the kind of music that I really like.
Right.
It's okay to listen to other cultures' music to get inspiration. And that's how I got my inspiration for this track.
That joint right there is definitely rocking the club banger right there. So it's like,
hmm
yo, that's on the project that's coming out. That's March 5th.
Actually, that's not on the project.
That's not on it?
That's just I'm not
Wow.
I'm not gonna. That's just me flexing my muscles. I'm not going to put that on the track. Trust me, it's going to be dope. Don't get me wrong. It's
Right.
going to be dope. This is just. I got so many beats. Why not?
Right. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So that's dope
But
right there.
I did put it out a really tiny snippet on Facebook. So if you go on a producer guild page, you'll definitely check it out. I believe it's duct tape. I'm not
Okay.
sure, but oh no, not duct tape. 79 blackout. 79 blackout. Yeah.
Again, yo, for people out there, if you're a creator, if you're producing anything, you have a business, be sure to tap into the Producers Guild on Facebook.
Yes.
Yo,
Definitely.
definitely, again, yo, that page was created for networking. If you got a business, if you got anything that you're creating, you're marketing, you're selling, definitely tap into that.
hmm
Again, be sure to
Definitely.
follow the underscore real underscore beats by Hazmat on Instagram. For
hmm
people that may want to try and get a beat from you, they may be looking for a producer. They may say, "I need the beat pack." What's the best way? What's the best process for them to get at you to get beats?
They can go to beats if you want any beats. Um, you can just hit you can hit Blackstorm up
Okay.
on blackstormfam@gmail.com,
Nice one.
or you can hit me up um, beats beats by hazmat 347 @gmail.com, or just link me on my producer guild page or Instagram.
That's a fact right there. So again, I can hit them on the Producers Guild page, or that's Beats by
hmm
Hazmat 347 at Gmail, or Blackstorm, that's fam FAMM at gmail.com.
It's blackstormfam@gmail.com.
All right, Blackstormfam at gmail.com. So anybody out there trying to get production, definitely tap in
Yep.
right there. What about other
Commercials,
commercials?
movie scores, jingles, whatever, man. If you're a influencer, you need music. Um, if you're a good artist, you need music. If you do graffiti, shout out to all the graffiti artists out there, man. You know what I'm saying? If you into graffiti, um, definitely link me if you need any kind of music production, man. Seriously,
That's what right
for a
there.
good price too.
I feel you on that. Yeah, definitely. That's the thing. It's like, yo, we at the point now where it's like the business has to be right.
Yep.
Right. So, definitely don't try and come at them like, yo, the homie hooked up. Nah, have your paperwork right. Get that man his flowers, pay him what he's worth. Yo, definitely, we've been doing this too long not to be getting what we worth. So let me
Right.
ask you, right? Do you tap any of the engineer side into? Is it just the production? Do you do engineering as well, or
Well, I know how to EQ.
okay?
um, I like to play around with the certain levels and everything, especially on a board on my Reason door. So
Right.
I kind of get the experience of being in the big studio. You know what I'm saying? When you use Reason, so it's pretty dope. I like it. But
So,
yeah, it's if you know what you want as far as how you want your sound mixed, then you should be able to do a good job. I know there's a certain formula, but sometimes you don't want to use the formula. Sometimes you want to go in a different route.
Right.
It's all on what you want, you know?
That's the fact right there. And then the EDM album is coming this year as well, too, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's drop all the dates so if they might watch the clip or they may just be tuning in now. We got
So
the
soon after soon after my album drop, I'm going to announce the date of the EDM album, and the EDM album most likely is going to be sometime in April.
okay.
But the next project after that is going to be around June. It's going to call Killanova. It's going to be called Killanova. It's going to be an EP. So that one I'm working on. So even though I'm done with the EP, my album, even though I'm done with my album, I'm still working. You know what I'm saying? So don't just stop right there. You got to keep working. You know?
So let me ask you, down the road, as you continue to drop projects and stuff like that, and as things
Yeah.
continue to unfold, can we get you back on the show for an update?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So that's dope, right?
Definitely, man.
That'd be dope, and I look forward to that, yo. If you got any shout outs or anything you want to give right now, we'll do that. And then after your shout outs, I'll let you close this out. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to the proof, whether you watch the live or you watch the playback. We definitely appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe and like that on the channel. And again, we appreciate y'all. We're gonna turn it over to Hazmat. Today we celebrating him, producer, engineer, business owner, and more. He's definitely part of the family, and we're building a brand. So, yo, be sure to support Produced by Hazmat. Yeah.
Yes. So make sure March 5th, 2022, BeatsBy Hazmat Volume 1 is dropping. It's going to be a lot of dope music. If you like instrumentals, if you like just beats, definitely download my album. And I will be doing a beat challenge as well. So not a beat challenge, but more of an MC challenge. If you're dope lyricist, just download the album and spit a 16 bars to any of the beats. Doesn't matter which one. You know what I'm saying? If there's one particular one that you like, definitely spit on there. I'm going to announce the challenge the week before my album drops. All right? So there's more to come, so please stay tuned. All right, y'all?
That's a fact right there. Yo, so I'll let you close us out, yo. Definitely, again, it's an honor and a privilege, yo. Thanks to everybody in the comments, to everybody that comment, everybody that hit the like, everybody that shared.
Thank you.
We
Thank
appreciate
you,
y'all.
everyone.
Be sure to support. Yo, and again, salute to you, brother. I'll let you close us out. We up out of here, bro.
Yo, shout out to Fam Click. Shout out to NBK, SR, Raph, everybody in Bushwick, Silhouette. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all your kids. God bless them and everything. Big shout out to my wife. She's a big part of what I do because, she shot the footage, of course, and she took the pictures, for the Proof podcast.
Right.
So yes, definitely shout out to my wife. Shout out to my sister that you just saw the background earlier.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my whole family: Joanne, the Murder Invader, Natasha, AJ, everybody, Lady T, Joshua, Courtney, everybody, man. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to my grandkids, Xavier and Zakai. Shout out to my daughter Camille, Isaiah, my son. And, shout out to the whole world. Shout out to Raleigh, North Carolina, New York City, Brooklyn. Shout out to everybody, man. Fam Click, FAMM. You feel me?
You already know,
all day, every day, kid.
Yeah, that's a fact, yo. And again, much love to you, bro. And we're going to sign off. We want to thank y'all again, yo.
Thank you.
This is the Proof.
All right, man.